Each Sunday in Christian churches, communities across the city, the nation, and around the globe, a prayer is said. A prayer. And in the context of that prayer that has been passed down from generation to generation, we hear the words, or a variation of them, "Forgive me my trespasses, as I forgive the trespasses of a neighbor," or "Forgive them their trespasses, as your trespasses are forgiven." We hear these words in this prayer passed from Jesus to his disciple that we call the Lord's Prayer. Forgiving our debts, our trespasses, our wrongs, our sins, as we forgive others. And as we come today to this Sunday, that we claim as Rally Sunday here at Calvary, a time in which people come back together to kick off the program here, we hear these three texts that all have this call to forgiveness. And hearing again that we are forgiven. As we come, we hear this wonderful story as shared with the children about Joseph, forgiving his brothers in the book of Genesis. And then we have this forgiveness in the community at Rome that Paul is calling all of the people to. Now, on first glance, it seems like it's merely forgiveness about those who are vegetarians and those who eat meat. But it's much deeper than that. This is a community that's struggling to live into what it means to be followers of Jesus. What it means to be in community with one another. And what rules apply? Is it not eating any meat? Is it not eating meat that's been offered to idols or to other gods? Or is it okay to eat meat altogether? The community is struggling with this and other things. How to live a good, an upright, a faithful life. And then we have this text from Matthew. Peter goes to Jesus, and he has what seems to be a pretty simple question. If someone in this community has done me wrong, has sinned against me, how many times should I forgive them? It's almost like Peter wants to pull out that little notebook right there. We've got James over there. There was that one yesterday. The one the day before. I'm up to 6. Do I go all the way to 7, or is it okay for me to be really angry with him now? In a sense, he wants to keep a tally. And Jesus raises the bar and creates a new expectation. Now, it's not insignificant in terms of the language that Peter uses. You see, he asks, should I forgive as many as 7 times? For those of you who are big into numbers or numerology, you know that the number 7 is considered to be a holy number. It is a number that is set apart. Within the Bible, we have it set out numerous times from the very beginning, the 7 days of creation. And we continue to hear it echoing throughout the Scriptures. So Peter is, in a sense, saying, are you expecting me to be holy? Are you expecting me to go all the way up to that 7th time? That place of holiness, of godliness? And imagine when Jesus comes back and says, well, not 7. Probably a little pause there, at which Peter wipes his brow and thinks, good, I'm off the hook. But then Jesus says, 7 times 7 times 7, or 7 times 77, or it's been translated in various ways. But he's saying, in a sense, holiness upon holiness upon You are meant to be a forgiving person in the way that you receive forgiveness. Forgiveness from God, this Holy One. Now, as he goes on to tell the parable, we get a little bit more of an understanding or a glimpse into this one who is the master of all, the master of the house, who forgives one who owes him a great debt, his slave, his servant. After much pleading, this owner disbands with the debt. But then this one goes out as someone who owes him a much, much smaller debt. He refuses to let go. In a sense, he throws him into prison. He has him tortured. This one who has received forgiveness is not willing to pass that forgiveness on to others. It becomes a lesson for us today. How often have we been forgiven? By brother or sister, by spouse, partner, by parent. And how often is it as easy for us to pass that forgiveness on, either back to the one doing the forgiving or on to others? Oftentimes we like to hold on to things. Resentment. I was reminded recently that word resentment is tied to a Latin base that means feeling again, to re-feel. And that as we hold on to resentment, in a sense what we are doing is we are dredging up those old feelings. We are re-feeling the anger, the hurt, the pain. And forgiveness is inviting us into a new way of being. To let go of the hurt, the pain. It's inviting us to live in a new